giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
Spike don't like girls.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning and welcome back, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Freeman Mazahade. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! Yeah, Spike don't like girls. Little Giants, one of my favorite movies of all time. I can't see with this thing on. What's up, y'all? We back. Some issues yesterday, but we back. We here. Won't be for that long, though. So y'all better get in where y'all can fit in. Today, we're going to finally start the Ranking the Roster project. And let me tell y'all, when I was putting this together over the last few days, it got real fun. And I'm probably going to switch some of these rankings once we get into the actual rankings. Y'all probably like, what the hell is he talking about? Just bear with me. We're going to be breaking down the bottom roster into two tiers today, and we'll talk about who missed my actual cut. So stick around. I'll describe in detail how we're going to do these rankings. I think it'll be fun. I've never done a rankings series before. I really don't do too many of those, but we're in the dog days, and I think this will be fun to kind of surpass the time. I don't think it'll lead us into camp, though. I don't think it's going to take that long. But we're going to do the ranking series. We'll have a good time with it, as we always do. If y'all want to call into the show, you can. Like I said, it ain't going to be long today. I promise y'all. I say it all the time, but I'm for real. It won't be long today. 351-999-3787 is the call-in line. We're pretty much just going to bust it up and just almost kind of a freestyle flow of talking about the bottom of this roster and who I think misses the cut into my rankings, my actual rankings, and who might miss the cut in general on this team. But first off, shout out to the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Somebody said, hey, how do you become a part of the Bomb Squad? Man, you just got to be here early. You just got to be here early, and you're here at the end of the show, or you're participating. It's free to be a part of Bomb Squad. No initiation, none of that. You just come through, support, and rock out as much as you can, man. So shout out to Hector. Shout out to Professor Rowe, TC915, Samuel Rowe, Toxic Tom Downey burner account, a.k.a. he says Spike weighs more than TJ Vasher. Spike don't like girls. What's good, Peasy? D.A. Lee, what up? We got Adam Mack in the building, Samuel Rowe, Akeem Brown, James Ruff, John Jones, Gregory, Oscar Sullivan, Big H. What's good, Big H? Christina, how you doing? Sin City, CJ Richards, David J, Uncut Coat, Straight Coat, TC915. Who else we got up in the building here? Who else? Mackenzie, two-time. Matt Goddix was good. Quiddy, who? Mag Jones. Primetime Phil, Miss Lemitra, how are you? Nick Mims, y'all in here arguing about Debo or DK? It's a conversation for another day, maybe for another day. Who else is in the building? I think that's about it for right now in regards to Brian Bradford. I see you just dropped in. T-Mac was good. D-Block 88, Ultra Cowboys. Peter Rizzo came through. Money Mission came through. All right, everybody coming through now. I appreciate that. Y'all come on through, man. What's good, T-Smooth? We got T-Mac and we got T-Smooth. We in those dog days, but I think we're going to have some fun with this ranking series. Here's why I think it's going to be fun. We're not going to have the same rankings. And y'all know me. I like to debate a little bit. So, and I like when y'all kind of prove me wrong in the sense of, I always say, hey, man, change my mind. Change my mind on this player not being part of this or this player doing that. Because if you can do that, I clap it up for you. So I want y'all to change my mind on some of these as we go through this roster ranking. And then in the roundup, we got a surprise standout according to ESPN Todd Archer. And there's hold Hold on, where's my bell? Where's my bell? Where's my bell? There's a fight going down. What's going on with these athletes, man? But before we get into the roundup, which this should have been a part of the roundup, let's quickly talk about Terry McLaurin. He secured the bag, y'all. Did y'all know that? He got a 3-year, $71 million extension. And I feel like anytime I hear about a contract or, money, I just...
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Just got
Money
lit.
talk.
Here comes the money.
The money has come for Terry McLaurin, which means C.D. Lamb is up next. He got a $28 million signing bonus. And I think that puts him in the top 5-ish category of wide receiver pay, which means, I hate to do this, Amari Cooper's contract don't look so bad right now. I don't like to go back, but I'm just saying people was, crying and whining about his money, but now Amari Cooper is about in the middle when it comes to guarantees and things like that and cap numbers, and about 8 or 9 of these dudes are above him. So, yeah, just saying his contract don't look so bad right now. But I worry a little bit, Cowboys Nation. I worry a little bit. And I'm not, and again, look, good for Terry McLaurin. I think he's a fantastic wide receiver, one of the more underrated ones. I think he'll have another good season. This will be his 4th starting quarterback to begin the year. That's no small feat to be as good as he's been in his young career. So salute to him. But I'm getting a little worried. Not about the Washington football people. Nah. I'm getting worried about C.D. Lamb because these numbers and the numbers I think that he's going to put up as the number one guy, they're going to have to come together. Like C.D. is going to go into the negotiation table and say, well, look at rookie year, second year, third year. I think they're going to progress between catches, between yards, between touchdowns. They're going to get better, which means he's eligible for an extension, which means all these dudes that are getting paid, CD is going to come to the table and say, hey, it's time to get paid, Steven. It's time to pay me. Now, they don't have to. I hope CD doesn't do a little holdout dance like Zeke did and head to Cabo, and we got this whole situation going. But what makes me nervous is that if CD does, and we talked about this, if he does have a 1,200, 1,300 yard season, 8 to 11 touchdowns, you could argue you might want to get in front of this right now. You could argue that. He could argue that. He could say, okay, cool, we'll go ahead and play the 4th year, but I'm going to get better. And those numbers are going to continue to go up. So instead of paying me $28 million a year or whatever it's going to be, which, man, that's a big number, it's going to go up to $30+ million the following year because more receivers are going to get paid. So it is, I get nervous, y'all, because I don't know if he'll do that. Real quick before we get into the roundup, do you think Stephen Jones would pay C.D. Lamb top market money at receiver? I mean, they did it with Amari at that time, so that gives me a little bit of hope. They did it with Amari. What y'all think? Toxic says they won't do it. Ghostface said, just raise my antennas. Yeah, man, mine's is definitely raised. I don't feel too good about it for CD, and not because I don't like CD, it's just that Stephen Jones don't like paying. Gregory said, yeah. Professor says, yes, I do. I'm saying, do they? Oh, yes, you do think they will. Okay. TC915, hell yeah. Peter says, no. Yeah, because he's our draft pick. That's a great point, Peasy. That's a great point. He is our draft pick. He's our guy. That's true. If CD shows it more this year, that will watch. Well, that's what I mean. If he continues to progress, do you see the Cowboys paying him? What will it be by the end of the year? $30 million per year, roughly $28 to $30 million per year. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying those words for a wide receiver, but that's where we're trending. So keep that in mind as our 88 goes out there and tries to get paid, y'all. All right, let's get into this roundup and get to this rankings, beginning of this ranking series.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
Time?
It is time for
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
It's only fitting that I ring the bell when I talk about this here. Adrian Peterson versus Le'Veon Bell. This is from ESPN. Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell signed contracts for a heavyweight boxing exhibition on July 30th in Los Angeles. Both former All-Pro running backs will be competing in a boxing ring for the first time, but since it's an exhibition, they won't officially mark their pro boxing debuts. Now, listen, I know these celebrity boxing things are a thing now. I get that. I think they're strange. And I know AP or AD, depending on what you want to call him, all day, or Adrian Peterson, is just about all but done. Same thing for Le'Veon Bell. But this is usually when you hit the bottom of the bottom. This, y'all, I mean, he was just in the league. Come on, Peterson. Like, what's good? I would love if this was an actual celebrity death match, though. But who you got? Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell? This should be a sweep, y'all. I don't even know the boy Le'Veon Bell like that. But I've heard stories about Adrian Peterson's hands. I've heard he has the strongest handshake in the world. His hands are massive. We know he's a robot. This should be an easy, clean sweep. I got Adrian Peterson in a knockout. I ain't going to watch it, but I think he's going to knock the shit out of Le'Veon Bell. This should be easy. AP. I got AP. AP will destroy Bell. They might need the money, Sky. Wow, man, they got paid. But you're right, man. These dudes don't really. Somebody going to get a deducted for trucking. No F's given AP. Come on, AP going to knock this man out, dog. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And if he doesn't, I'll be shocked. He's a robot. Then coming from ESPN as well, Todd Archer wrote an article. TJ Vasher is named the surprise offseason standout via Todd Archer. Here is what Archer had to say in his little excerpt here. Actually, no, I'll read some quotes from Mike McCarthy. This is what Mike McCarthy had to say. He's made some really big-time flash plays and splash plays. He had some really particularly in the red zone. But you can see his ability down there, big plays and scramble drills and things like that. I just think like any young player, particularly in this development, is getting the details of the everyday situations. He seems to be the flavor of the month in TJ Vasher, but for good reason, right? Let's not knock what he's been able to do in regards to progressing from a receiver standpoint. This is a dude who came in raw, didn't get a chance to play as much last year because he got hurt in the offseason. So to see that Archer named him the surprise guy, I think it's a good thing. I say this all the time. I get it, it's OTAs. I get it, it's helmets and shells and all that good stuff. But you'd rather hear these guys are doing good things than bad things. Josh Ball. Right? You'd rather hear the good things. So now the question becomes, does TJ Vasher make my cut? And this is what I mean by cut. Now I can actually get into the details of how I'm going to do this series, how I just came up with it. Because I didn't want to just flat out rank 1 through 90. We are not doing that. Actually, we're not even going to be doing 90 players. The actual number rankings will be a top 40. That's what I decided to do. Top 40. And then after that, which is today, we're going to be doing who missed that cut and breaking those into 2 tiers. Now, the reason why I did it this way is because if you didn't make my top 40, you still have obviously the opportunity to make the team, the 53. I don't like to do an early 53-man roster breakdowns in June. I don't. But this is a way to kind of tease it, I guess. So the 2 tiers I did are 10 and 10. So there's technically 60 players we're going to be talking about. And today we'll talk about 20 of them real quick. We're not going to be spending a whole entire hour and a half on these guys. But I got a tier 2 and I got a tier 1. Did TJ Vasher make the top 40? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. All right, let's get to tier 2. let's get to tier 2. Again, I didn't rank these 1 through 10 or nothing like that. So don't think like, oh, you got Francis Bernard last on the entire one. No. I just literally broke these guys up into tier 2. And we'll start backwards because we're there. And on the right-hand side, you got Francis Bernard, Matt Fournier, Jaquan Hardy, Jeremy Sprinkle, and Marquise Bell. If I had to look at who I think make the actual team on that side, I think we'd all would agree Marquise Bell is our guy that we want to see make the team, that we think has a shot as an undrafted, maybe the highest shot as an undrafted free agent. Well, I think Jeremy Sprinkle probably makes his team because veteran, he's your tight end 2, blocking, all that stuff right now. My dark horse, though, and I said this when we did the running back breakdown, my dark horse is Jaquan Hardy. That's my dark horse. Running back 3, toxic. Running back 3 is still a battle. While we believe Ryan Nall might have the lead at this moment, nothing is for sure with that position because nobody is a runaway favorite. So if Jaquan goes out there and he looks better at it as a running back, me personally, I'm not cutting him just because Ryan Nall can play special teams. So my dark horse on that side is Jaquan. On the other side, got Deron Bland, Jake McQuaid, Izzy McQuamu, Josh Ball, and Isaac Alarcon. And now that I see Justin bring up Garibay, I'm kind of a little upset I didn't put Garibay's not on any of the lists, because I like Garibay, but I didn't put him on there. I put Jake McQuaid though because he's a Pro Bowl long snapper, and I get it, he's a long snapper. People might say, "What the hell?" But we know he's making the team, and he was a Pro Bowler, so I got to give a nod to him. But on that side, I'm not as sure as I am with Jeremy Sprinkle, Marquise Bell. Hell, like I said, even Jaquan, I'm not as sure. Izzy would have to kind of show that, he's worthy of that backup free safety role. Josh Ball will make the team because he was a 4th round pick or whatever it was, 4th or 5th round pick. But it hasn't been a good offseason for Josh Ball, according to those down there at the Star. We're talking about Jake. Deron Bland is the one. I was going to do a show where I talked about toughest path to the roster for rookies. I just find Deron Bland, if there's no injuries, like how are we carrying him on this team? Am I off base there? Because I look at the cornerback room and I think about the top 3 and Lewis and Brown and Diggs. And then you got Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright. That's 5 right there. CJ Goodwin's going to make this team. That's 6. Are we carrying 7 cornerbacks? Or are we cutting CJ Goodwin for Deron Bland? So I feel like Deron Bland is going to have to ball out or show something in the special teams room to get on this team. I don't really see him being a factor in the cornerback room this year. Too many players to jump over. I'm looking here. So if Boss Man gets suspended, yeah, I mean, that could be his way on. So of these guys, 2 questions. We'll do it for both tiers. Oh, I didn't even get to Isaac Alarcon. You could argue he shouldn't be on any of these lists because they have an extra year of eligibility. Now, if he shows that he is progressed to have a shot to make the roster, then sure. If not, they have another year they can put him on the international program. But of this list, who do you think is most to make this team and least to make this team? The least for me, now that I think about that question, least Isaac Alarcon. I'll say Isaac. Yeah, I'll go. Least will be Isaac. Most, Josh Ball is kind of cheating because he was a 4th round. I ain't gonna get rid of him that early. I guess Josh Ball, but I'm gonna go with Marquise Bell. I say most to make the team. Jeremy Sprinkle and Josh might be cheating, so I'm trying to, and Jake McQuaid, those are cheating. Those guys will probably be on the team. But in regards to odds, I got Bell as the odds maker to make it because he doesn't have a lot of odds probably. And then least Isaac Alarcon. Least to make it is Bernard. Jacob says he's already gone. Yeah, he's not on the team. Is he on the team? No, he's on the team. At least it's on the roster, at least on their website. Most is McQuaid, least Bernard. He's not on our team. So he's not on the team. Then why the hell is he on the roster? I thought that too, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute now. I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy. Let me just go on because I did use the. Okay, he's not. Okay, you're right. You're right. He's not on the website roster. He's on the ESPN roster. Interesting. All right, so we can just scratch Francis out of here. we can get him out of here. I definitely thought that as well. So I appreciate that. So we can scratch him out of here. So then forget Francis, which he wasn't even my pick. My pick was Isaac as least. Most I will have Marquise Bell. Primetime has most Bell, least Hardy. It's my dark horse, man. It's my dark horse. Hardy, Joseph. I think they'll cut Josh Ball as Captain America. He'd have to be real bad. But it sounds like he's not doing too much. I think Deron Bland, I can't get that out my head, man, because when we picked him, I'm like, I mean, why did you draft another corner? This is one of those things where during the draft period, me and my guy Jeff Kavanaugh got into it on Twitter. Debate, not got into it, but on Twitter. And I was like, man, we got 4 or 5 fifth round picks. Trade some of those and move back up into the 3rd round or the 4th round, whatever. And try to secure a better player that you have on your board, or try to secure an actual established player in the league. Traded Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick. Shaq Mason went for a 5th round pick. You know what I mean? Like, you can go get a guy for a 5th round, 4th round combination type of situation. Instead, they sat there and they took they just threw a lot of darts. That's his argument. Hey, throw darts at the wall. See what hits. Blah, 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 blah. Sure. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but it just is what it is. If you look at our 5th round rate, it's awful. Well, how is it awful in the 5th round when you're getting guys like Xavier Woods who played above their 6th round expectation, Anthony Brown, Cedric Wilson? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why they're hitting in the 6th round and not hitting in the 5th round. So I didn't like the fact that they sat there and took 4 5th round picks. Yeah, I like Damone Clark. Yeah, well, let's go. It's a cool little project. You know, hopefully he can be a swing tackle at some point. Who else? Deron Bland. That's the one that really blew my mind. Like, okay, why are we taking Deron Bland? But whatever. Now I look at the roster and I look at when I did this ranking, I'm like, I can't possibly rank him above these other dudes right now in June. This could change. So I feel like he's the odd man out. Jaw says, why keep Ball if he has no value? Maybe they look at him as a guy that has value. We as fans, obviously, we're not there. All I can do is report on what we've heard, and the fact that what I've heard is that he hasn't really shown nothing yet. So, obviously we gotta let the training camp go through, and let's see what happens. But I like Matt Willetsko's demeanor. I like his feet better. He seems to be longer. I think they're both 6'8", but I think his length, he might be a little bit longer. Ball just doesn't do it for me right now. Professor O says Bland needs to beat out Goodwin. I agree. That's the only possible scenario for me. Yeah. And maybe they'll do something like this. Well, look, we got 4 years with Bland. We only got 1 more year with CJ. Remember when we did the hot seat? And I was like, CJ got a little bit of heat on him because they drafted a Deron Bland and he's in a contract year. That's about the only situation I can see. All right. Let's get to tier 1. This is going to be an interesting one here because some of these names on here, y'all going to be like, whoa, they didn't make your top 40? No, they didn't. They didn't. And our guy, the flavor of the month, did not as well. Yeah, these are a lot of now this does not mean they don't make the team. Let me get that out the way here. In fact, I'd argue everyone on this list, sans maybe two people won't make it. I think 2 people won't make the team on this list. I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm just saying between Rico, Ryan, Devin, and TJ Vasher, which I think he might, somebody ain't making this team. 2 of those dudes ain't making this team. So on the right-hand side, you got Quentin Bohanna, Matt Waletzko, Luke Gifford, John Ridgway, and Devin Harper. Some people can argue they like a John Ridgway in the top 40. They like a Cooper Rush in the top 40 or Jake Ferguson top 40. I couldn't do it. When I was putting together my top 40, I couldn't do it. Not just yet. So I had to put them in the tier 1 of the best of the rest. I know you don't like that, Toxic Tom. Yeah, your boy. Honestly, your boy was going to be put on tier 2 or not on the list at all. Just out of pure spite. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to troll my own fans here. Didn't want to do that to y'all. So I got Quentin, Matt Waletzko, Luke Gifford, John Ridgway, and Devin Harper on the right-hand side. I couldn't in good faith put Quentin in the top 40 when I went and looked at the players. The only one that I struggled with on that side that I thought about putting in there was John Ridgway. But I was like, how can I do that if we really haven't seen him play? Which there's going to be rookies in the top 40. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be rookies up there. But I also tried to include, okay, you got draft pedigree, you got potential, what they have done in regards if they're in the league. If they've been in the league, I mean, like a Quentin Bohanna. He's not in there. So how can I put John in there, not Quentin Bohanna in there, where Quentin has NFL tape, John doesn't. But I do have him above Quentin in this scenario, I guess. That makes sense. Then on the left-hand side, Jake Ferguson, Ryan Nall, Rico Dowdle, Cooper Rush, and TJ Vasher. Rico and Ryan are going to be competing for the same spot. Same thing for Jaquan Hardy. Clearly, all 3 of those guys ain't making it. There's going to be practice squad positions open for them. Y'all know me. I said what I said, and I'll say it again. I have Rico Dowdle as the guy who's going to separate himself if he's healthy. But going into camp, I think Ryan Nall probably leads that clubhouse. Joey said, hell no, take him off this list. I couldn't do it because if you actually look at Ryan Nall's career, he is a career special teams guy. Fullback, running back type of dude. He deserves to be in the top 60 on the roster. But as you see, I didn't say 53. See, 7 of these dudes ain't going to make the team. Maybe even more. Cooper's in the bottom 20, but Greer and DiNucci aren't. No, I didn't put Greer and DiNucci on. I don't really see them making the team either. So I just was like, I'm just going to save myself a spot and put some guys who I think could fight on the roster. I think this is Cooper Rush's job. If he loses this job, man, we in trouble, dog. I don't think they're carrying 3. Do we think they're carrying 3 quarterbacks? I don't think they're going to carry 3 quarterbacks. I think this is Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott, and then Greer and DiNucci are just camp arms, and probably DiNucci because he has a connection with the head coach. He'll be on the practice squad roster. So it's like I would have wasted 2 more spots where I could have added somebody else on there. No, Robbie, these ones are not in order. So that's why I broke them up into tiers. These ones are not. Now tier 1 is a technical order, I guess. Tier 2 obviously is the least likely of the 2 tiers. So if you want to call an order, this would be the order. Tier 1, tier 2. These are the guys who I think now. In regards to not saying long shots to making the team, I shouldn't say that because there's guys like Jeremy that will. But I have them kind of below this tier right here. Now, is TJ Vasher. Do we think TJ Vasher is making this team? He's the flavor of the month, Cowboys Nation. 6'6", big wingspan. Now you got Mike McCarthy talking about you, right? He's taking advantage of having, Michael Gallup out, CeeDee Lamb out. Tober was out at one point. Washington's out. So he's doing good things in OTAs. But we've had this conversation. Here we've had this conversation on the volume. I personally think if TJ is going to make this team, he has to do it by blowing away the staff as a receiver. I don't recall the last 6'6", skinny as all hell special teamers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, y'all can help me out with that. I don't recall a guy who's 6'6". I know he's 215, but man, he's really thin playing special teams. So he's going to be a specialty player as opposed to a special teams player. And we know our offensive coordinator has a hard time using specialty players. Jacob says he does. I think he does. Scott, him and Simi are getting spots 5 and 6. It's up for grabs. I tell you that. I mean, you could argue 5 and 6 if they carry 6, which they should probably, are up for grabs. The top 4, I think, are supplanted. You got Gallup. You got Cooper. I'm sorry, Cooper. You got Gallup. You got Lamb, Washington, Tolbert. I guess you got Noah. I don't see both of them beating out Noah, though. Vasher could replace Turner. That's about it. But here's the thing, Craig. This is what Craig said on Facebook. Turner was a damn good special teams player. Turner was a damn good blocker. He did the dirty work. Professor O has Vasher making it. Here's what I want him to make it, because I think he has a higher ceiling than Noah Brown. Remember we had this conversation? Like, Noah's cool. I think we do this too much here in Cowboys Nation. But he plays special teams. Oh, but he's an excellent blocker at running back. He don't block at receiver. Like, I get all that. But can they do the things that they are supposed to do? Like their number one objective? Or can they be a good receiver? Can they be a good runner? Can they catch the rock? All that other jazz is secondary to me. So if TJ Vasher has a higher ceiling as a wide receiver than a special teams player, I want that player on my team. And it's not just TJ, anybody. If not, then yeah, you factor in all the rest of the stuff. But let's just use an example. If TJ Vasher's ceiling, or ranking, if TJ Vasher is a 8 on the wide receiver scale and a 4 on special teams, Noah's a 4 on the wide receiver scale, 1 to 10, and an 8 on special teams, I'm taking TJ Vasher, me personally. And then I'm going to find a way to use his traits, the 6'6", the length, the ability to catch the highlight balls, throw it up, deep balls, 50-50s, red zone. I'm going to use that because I've seen Noah Brown. He's a below average wide receiver. So I would love for TJ to make the team as a receiver. You're going to have like 6 or 7 corners. Throw the corner out there at special teams for all I care. Noah Brown's ceiling is about 4 feet high. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's been here for 5 years, 6 years, whatever it's been. He is what he is as a receiver. If he was, what's the cat's name? Slater? Whatever his first name is. If he was Slater from the Patriots, I'd completely understand. If there was a Hall of Fame for special teams, Slater would be in it. I think we tend to overvalue Noah Brown's special teams and blocking ability. The dude is not a tackle. You know what I mean? And when we needed Noah Brown to be a receiver last year, he didn't step up to me as like, yo, hey, let's go ahead and sit down Cooper for an extra game because Noah is filling in. He didn't pull a Miles Austin. No. So, Matthew Slater, thank you. I'd let him ride if TJ shows that he can be a better receiver. Now, Simi is really going to have to show me on special teams too, because I think Simi is built to be a special teamer. So, I'm a huge Buckeye fan. Brown can play. He knows the system. Craig, see, but that's your bias talking. You're a huge Buckeyes fan. He been here, Craig, for 5-6 years. He can play what? Special teams? He can play special teams. He ain't that very good as a receiver. He's a very, at best, average receiver for these Dallas Cowboys. Maybe he can go somewhere else and you think he can be a late bloomer. But in Dallas, he's a below average wide receiver and I guess, quality special teams guy. So for that, if a dude shows that he's better, I'm all for putting him on the team over him. King said Noah Brown might as well make a position change. Dude can do anything but play receiver. You've seen him play. I think a lot of us seen Vasher play in college. He's average as well. Okay, so you got let's just play this game. 2 average wide receivers. Now it's about traits. Whose traits do I personally like more? I like Vasher's traits more. But traits can't be everything, because now if you think that they're both below average or average wide receivers, then you do have to take into account the special teams value. That's the problem, right? That's why I say if Vasher shows he can be a better receiver, I'm taking him, no doubt. I'm not thinking twice about it. If he doesn't, then I don't think he makes the team. Lemitra says Noah Brown. I don't know. I think Brown already hit his ceiling. What ceiling? No, that's deep. I ain't gonna do that to Noah. Right. Noah is what he is. He is what he is. Let me go back to this tier 1 here. Are we having enough conversations about the quarterback situation? Cooper Rush. Devin Street. Could be. He could be. Vasher could be a Devin. But Devin Street played, 2 years in Dallas? He had maybe a few good games. Is the quarterback situation, should we be talking more about that, given Dak Prescott has been injured a bit? And I know Cooper Rush won that game last year, but I ain't going to lie to y'all. I wasn't thrilled at that game. Yeah, he got us down there. I wasn't thrilled in how he did it. It got done though, right? So there's that. We want to talk about hitting your ceiling. Cooper Rush is what he is. I would have welcomed quarterback competition. Yeah, I would have welcomed it. I don't think it's being talked about enough. I'm not saying that it should be, but it feels like that conversation kind of has dwindled because Dak is back. He's healthy going into the offseason. But last year, we were literally like, yo, we need to do something at this quarterback spot, because what if Dak isn't ready, or what if he gets hurt? And he did get hurt. And we did win a game. But I wonder, I just wonder if we had a better backup quarterback situation, would that have allowed Dak to rest a little bit more? Something to think about. What's up, Seth? This is true. They did win the game. But I'm just saying, if Cooper had to play for 4 games, I don't know if I want all that. I want all that. Toxic said Dallas loves their ginger backup quarterbacks. He's going to be the next offense coordinator after Kellen. D-Block believes the Cowboys need to add a veteran receiver in that room. I would have loved that in free agency. I mean, they technically added James Washington, so I guess there's your veteran. But a guy like Jarvis Landry would have been a really good add to me. I often think about Dallas adding a guy like that and then saying, hey, Michael Gallup, we're going to put you on PUP or whatever it is, because you are a long-term investment, and PUP will at least get us to about week 6 where you can come back and you can get by with the Jarvis Landry. I think you could. And he can be what I like, the slot receiver. So I would have liked Jarvis Landry. I know a lot of people are talking about Will Fuller. Sure, if you can get yourself 6 games out of Will Fuller, it'll be a damn good 6 games probably. But your deep threat, I feel like he ain't got the speed as well. But your deep threat is going to be Tober if they use him that way. Yeah, Landry would have been perfect, says Craig. I think so too. I'm a big advocate of having a slot guy. Landry's also a leader, right? Let's talk about that for a second. Look into the wide receiver room. CeeDee Lamb's your dude. Now, Noah Brown is the most tenured, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's the most tenured. But CeeDee Lamb is your dude. He's also still young. He's also still learning to be a leader. He's also still learning the league and things like that. So who's that guy that you turn to when the going gets tough in that room? There really isn't one. And this is the first year for CD. And I mean, I'm just from a distance. I'm just looking at it from a distance. I don't really think CD is that kind of veteran type of leader player from right now. He may develop into that. Maybe this is a year that gets him going. But he even talked about how he leaned on Cooper heavily. Anytime, and rightfully so, he's a young player. Whereas you look at Micah Parsons, we all would look at Mike and be like, yo, he is that type of alpha leader, right? He's that type of alpha leader. So not having that guy in the room, we'll see what happens when the going gets tough. Maybe Tolbert will develop into that over the next number of years, because Tolbert kind of has some leadership qualities to him. He's a little bit older. He talked about wanting to be a role model for players, for players and young kids and things like that. Maybe he'll take over that leadership role when he's older. But right at this moment, Dallas doesn't have that. Craig says, "What about Julio?" He's just as much injury prone as Will. Would Julio welcome would he welcome a role position? You know what I'm saying? Not being the dude, being maybe third or fourth. And I'm not saying Julio should be third or fourth, but if Julio comes in here and once Gallup gets back, you are knocking him down to 3. And to be honest with you, I'd kind of want Tolbert to get all those reps. Julio is done. He'd have to go to a team like the Bucks, where his pecking order makes sense. You're not putting Julio above Mike Evans and Godwin at this point. So if he's your third guy, maybe he transitions into a big slot like Larry Fitzgerald did as he got older in his career. I think he'd be all right with that, because you got Tom, I got Mike, but if he come here and be like, hold on, you putting James Washington in over me? I don't know if that's something he would want to do. I think I agree, King Element. I think he might need to retire too. I didn't really go into detail on certain guys like Jake Ferguson and Devin Harper. Do you guys think any of them should, in fact, anybody on these lists, should any of these guys be ranked in my top 40? I would imagine these are the guys. Tier 2, probably not, but any of these guys, should they be ranked in my top 40? Or would they be ranked in your top 40? Another player I think might he might not have a hard time giving a room, but Devin Harper is an interesting character, because that room is so light that he might make the team as a special teams player, and he has the athletic potential. So I won't go as far as saying least likely to make the team, because the room maybe dictates that he will. But I don't think he should have been in my top 40, though. Professor O, okay. He says, I'm good with none of these being in the top 40. All right, let's see here. Maybe Rico if he stays healthy. Asian Persuasion says she really likes Aaron Hansford, the linebacker from Texas A&M. Yeah, I had him out. I didn't have him in my top 60. So here's the question, Joe Sandberg. Shout out to you. It's not who makes the team, because if you just jumping in here, the project, the way we did it, it's very confusing. I promise y'all it'll make sense, though. I'm doing a top 40, right? 1 through 40. There's going to be a rankings for that. Tomorrow we're going to unveil 40 to 31. We're doing a top 40. But it's 60 players in all. And I did the bottom of the roster who missed that cut. I ranked them into two tiers. Very confusing. I apologize. It's the best way I could think about it without trying to do 60 different rankings. So I definitely think, hell, almost all these players except the running backs, they'll fight that out, will make this team. Maybe TJ, but the question is, should any of these guys be in the top 40? Professor O says, keep an eye on Peyton Hendershot. He's actually, I want to say he might have been above Jake Ferguson. I think Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot were kind of battling for that tight end 4-ish role, according to Kyle Yeomans and Bobby Belt. Yeah, top 40 as being active. Well, that'd be 46. I'm just doing a flat out number 40. PA boy says, well, Hannah makes a team. He should take a big step forward. I think he makes a team as well. Should he be in your top 40, though? Extreme Assassin says, got to get Vasher on the field. You know who Vasher reminds me of? He reminds me of Plax. Not overly super fast dude. Not a crazy route guy. Plax was just a big ass tight end that was really a receiver. They put him out there at receiver, and they used his length. And I'm with you, Extreme Assassin. And I said this weeks ago when we were talking about these two players, Simi Fehoko and TJ Vasher. If he makes the team, don't just have him just be a guy inactive every week. He ain't because he can't play. Use him. Can you imagine you get down to the 25, 20, 15, and you decide to mix it up and throw a jump ball lineup out there, and you got TJ Vasher on one side, Michael Gallup on another side. You slide CeeDee Lamb in the middle as a slot. And if you get one-on-one with one of those dudes out there, as much as I love Lamb, just throw that thing up to TJ Vasher. He's probably going to be guarded by a CB3 or 4, some little short corner. So use it. Use your specialty players in those ways. He could literally be a Cameron Brate. Y'all remember Cameron Brate had a year where he had like 300 yards but 6 touchdowns. Plax was something, wasn't he, Jacob? Agent says love him, but he's definitely just a possession receiver. Sure, I mean there's no problem being just a possession receiver. And, I love Michael Thomas. He's just a possession receiver. He's excellent though, and I'm not saying he's Michael Thomas. I'm just getting at that. Lemitra says we sleeping on Story. No, Lemitra, that's my guy. I'm not sleeping on him, but if you look at the list, I don't think I had many undrafted free agents on there. The only one I think I might have had on there was Marquise Bell. So let me ask you, Marquise Bell or Story Jackson? I've got Marquise Bell right now. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, that's the thing, Craig. I'm not guaranteeing anything about a Vasher or Simi or Noah or nothing. It is a big, giant question mark. But he is intriguing because he has traits. And I don't need him. I know this sounds crazy because you want him to make the routine plays. But I would love to use him as a red zone guy. I feel like he probably makes the spectacular catch more than he makes the routine play. Yeah, Simi. I don't know if you're going to see that. All right, we got James on the horn real quick. We'll take some calls here before we wrap it up. I told y'all we ain't gonna be long today. Truck driver James, what's goody, bro?
What's going on, Sky? How you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Man, I'm so sick and tired of this Noah Brown talk. Man, we giving this guy 4 years. He got 39 career catches. All he does is special teams. If that was the case, if we looking at special teams, if that was the case, we should have kept Malik Turner. We should have kept him.
I agree.
He's a better receiver.
I agree.
I mean, I just feel like one of these young guys, I'm hoping that one of these young guys can take him out. And I mean, because I feel like at this point it's a wasted spot to keep him. I mean, he has no value on the offense. Zero.
Yeah.
All he does is special teams. I mean,
Malik Turner signed for 1 year, $1.1 million.
I don't know why we didn't keep that guy, man. I mean, or re-sign him. I just don't understand it.
And we kept Noah. What is?
And we kept Noah instead. And if you look at Malik Turner's tape from last year, which he doesn't have much, but when he did get in the game, dude got some wheels with him, man. He tried to make some things happen, which you would never see from Noah Brown as a receiver.
No. That's not his game. Yeah, I didn't know it was that cheap. I thought he might have got close to like $2 million or over $1.1 million. I mean, I wonder what they looked at, because I'm pretty sure, James in chat, they went in there and said, Noah Brown, Malik Turner, what do we like about these guys and what do we value most? I don't know how you can say Malik Turner's not at least as good of a special teams dude as Noah, if not better. And then I look at the way he plays receiver. I think he's shown more receiving things than Noah Brown. So, there's a joke going around that says, oh, hey, Noah Brown got naked pictures of Jerry, things like that. But it makes you wonder what the hell was going on that Noah keeps making his team when guys like, a Malik Turner don't.
I just don't see it, bro. I just, what he came out of Ohio State. So you thought maybe with that pedigree, you thought maybe, he would turn into something, but he hasn't turned into anything. It's special teams, and he hasn't even made the Pro Bowl as a special teams player. So he definitely can be replaced by somebody with better potential.
That's my whole thing. If the potential is higher than whatever his value is, I'm rolling with it and live with it. Because think about this, we gotta put it in this way. Are you going to miss a Noah Brown?
No.
All right.
You're not gonna miss him. You're not gonna miss him on special teams, and you're damn sure not gonna miss him on offense.
Yeah.
He can be replaced. You can replace that special teams with a linebacker, a bigger, faster linebacker.
That's a question I would have loved for them to ask during the free agency period. Like, hey, what made Noah Brown more valuable to this team than Malik Turner?
Well, you know what it is, Sky, and I'm gonna say this, and then because we could be all day about this. You know what I'm gonna say? This goes to the point that, again, you got an owner that's playing GM, and now you got his son that's playing, I guess you could say, GM, and they not football guys. So when it comes to them, making GM decisions, they can't. They don't make the right decision. We are fans, and I'm pretty sure that a fan could see that Malik Turner was better than Noah Brown as a receiver, and he was at least
James,
equal as. Go ahead.
I'd argue they didn't make that. They didn't make the Noah Brown Turner decision. That's below them. I feel like they'll get involved with the bigger guys, the D Laws, right? The Randy Gregory's, but Malik Turner and Noah Brown, I feel like they probably said, "Hey Bones, who you want?" And Bones decided to go. And I'm just me speculating. Bones decided to go with no. I don't think Jerry Jones. They went to Jerry and said, "Hey Jerry, we got to pick between Noah and Malik." He probably like, who? You know what I mean? So I think that might have been more of a coaching and scouting decision, bro. Honestly.
So you think that special teams coach got that much pull where they would go and ask him who he wants instead of asking McCarthy?
Oh yeah, bro.
Damn, McCarthy ain't got no balls then.
Bro.
He just walking around. Go ahead.
Do you remember in 2020? Coach Bones was out here calling all these crazy wild fake plays and fake punts and all this stuff, and they was questioning him like, "Yo, what's going on?" And that's because McCarthy said, "Hey man, I'll let him do that." So yeah, for absolutely, I think they go to Bones and say this person or that person.
Well, I guess this is the dysfunction that we deal with, because if I'm a head coach, I'm running it like Parcells or I'm running it like Belichick. Just throwing two coaches out there. I'm throwing two coaches out there that are old school, and I'm not going to say that they necessarily meddle in everything, but they got an ear to everything, and you're not going to do no dumb shit because, you got to look at them when you do that dumb shit. Do you think that Bones would have did that if Parcells was the coach?
Bones wouldn't have as much power, but I personally like Bones. I think he's made our special teams much better. But I'm just saying, I think he has that pull. Like, I think it's been proven that he's got that type of pull.
See, that's gonna be McCarthy's downfall, because he's just letting, like, his offense coordinator, he just letting him just, hey, you install it, you run it, okay. But guess who it comes back on? You looking like the nut.
Yep.
Okay, Bones. You install it, you call it however you see it fit. And then when they go wrong, guess who is coming back to? You, because you the head coach.
I agree.
That's McCarthy's fault if that's what he's doing.
No, listen, I think Jason Garrett kind of shed light on his problem, his issue yesterday when I heard his interview. He said, I didn't speak up enough. That was my downfall.
Right.
Right. And I think McCarthy, and it's hard to when you get snipped. You know what I'm saying? Like your voice don't carry as much weight as a guy that they like more than you. And that's where I think the confrontation needs to come in and say, well, listen, y'all, if y'all don't want to do it this way, y'all can either get rid of me, right? Or we going to do it the way that I know has been proven to win. You
Right.
can't tell me your way has been proven to win because you ain't won in 30 years. And the way you won before doesn't exist anymore. I digress.
Right. Right. From the great Mike Tomlin, you don't run away from coaching, you run to coaching.
I love that interview, bro.
I did too, man. Hey, you know what? That interview made me want to go put pads on.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite coaches, man. Like I know a lot of Steelers fans, it blew my mind when they was trying to get rid of Mike Tomlin. I'm like, he doesn't have a losing season. Ben Roethlisberger stopped being good like a half a decade ago or so.
Yeah, they just don't know what they got. Yeah, but bro, keep doing your thing, man. I was hoping wasn't nothing wrong with you yesterday, bro. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, well, I ain't getting no update. I ain't getting no update. I'm like, well, I hope he good.
I put it in the community. I put it in the community that we had some technical issues internet wise that I had to spend some time. Yeah, we got to figure it out though.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. All right, brother. I know Coach Marv probably gonna be calling you, man. Hey, that dude, man, that's full of wisdom right there.
That's some wisdom, bro.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, when he talk, all I do is listen, because he be kicking it.
You do, man. You do. Y'all
right,
are
bro.
great.
Well,
bro.
have a good one, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep. All right, man.
Yeah, man. My guy said Steelers fans are spoiled rotten. I agree, toxic. You know what I find hilarious? When people say Cowboys fans are spoiled. Spoiled of what? Spoiled of what? If anything, we so damn loyal. Listen, Detroit, the Browns, I give it. If you are a Detroit fan or a Brown fan, your loyalty might go further than ours. But if you've been rocking as much as we've been rocking during this period, you can't question our loyalty. We ain't won shit in 30 years, and we still here every day. So I find it hilarious when they say we're spoiled. No. Steelers fans, yeah. They might be spoiled. 2 Super Bowls in this century. Whining and crying about Mike Tomlin. I'd take a Mike Tomlin all day on this team. All day. Why are you? What's going on, Dak? Not done yet? Are you disrespecting on this show yet? Yeah, what's going on, Dak? Not done yet? You gotta get a bit more specific, man. There are too many Marv's facts. That's why I have to say Coach Marv, which I have Coach Marv in my system, and then we got the other OG Marv. One of the other requirements is your name has to be Marv. Where'd you go? If you want to be a Cowboy fan. Oh, so salute to my bro Vach in the building. We ran out of time. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. The clock game yesterday, Dak not done yet. Yeah, I don't do clock game here, but Vach do the clock game when we run out of time. So it's no disrespect. It's just a way to get the calls to go real smooth. And if you haven't seen clock game, that's how it works. It's kind of like I don't even know. I really don't honestly know. But time run out, you hit the buzzer, you're done. That's pretty much how the clock game go, man. So I get what you're saying now. All right, man. Let's finish up these chats here, and we're gonna get out of here. It's not gonna be too long of a show. Craig said, "I'm not sold on Washington at all." See, Craig. This is what I find funny. Y'all know I love saying this. Is what I find funny about fans. Let me go find the other comment you had. Craig said, "Well, I'm not really sold on Washington, but just give Noah Brown some better coaching." Craig, what are we doing? Is it the bias because you're an OSU fan? But you can't sit here and look at me with a straight face and tell me that Noah Brown is better or has more potential than James Washington. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be careful. And I get it. As fans, our biases, our fandom, it's impossible to completely rule it out. But there ain't no way Noah Brown better than that dude. Oh, come on, man. You don't know you. Come on, man. Come on. What up, Jesse? Yeah, man. Vach be in here, bro. Dak was done on Vach's show. Says talk. Yeah, it was hilarious yesterday. But yeah, like Vach said, man, call back in today. We should be good to go. Jay says Washington is solid. Be real. He came into the league when Big Ben was on decline and had Mason Rudolph. Facts. I personally think that James is going to have a solid year. Come on, Vach. We don't do that on here. That's behind the scenes, bro. Speaking of which, this will be an interesting day later on. Let's get some more chats. That's why it's not gonna be a long show. Lamar, I got shanked by the butter knife. One of the best YouTube names out there in the community. We all like Quinn and McCarthy don't have a say with him. He installs it, he calls it. We all like Quinn. McCarthy don't have a say. Well, McCarthy's not a defensive coach. Why would McCarthy have a say in that? You know what I mean? McCarthy's an offensive coach. And I think the issue is you're an offensive guy who was a play caller your whole career. You came to Dallas, and it's clear as day now that they took that away from you. You ain't voluntarily. You don't just up and voluntarily say, hey, no. I don't want to call plays. I want to give it to this guy who's only done it for a year. Come on, man. What are you doing? What about bringing in Beckham? I think didn't a report just come out Beckham won't be ready till like towards the end of the year. I think you got your Beckham guy coming back, and that's Michael Gallup. So honestly, I'd rather Will Fuller because he's ready now. And if he's gonna get hurt, he just get hurt. And if he gets hurt, then go sign Beckham later. See, that's what's dope about a team like the Rams or whatever. They don't give a damn what period of time it is in the season. They'll go sign a guy. They'll go draft or trade a guy. They'll go get a guy that's on the market that they think they can use to help their team. For whatever reason, Dallas, once you get past about May or June, that's it. You might get the surprise Everson Griffin type of signing. Nobody looked at Malik Hooker as this amazing signing last year. Malik Hooker barely played. We like the potential, but I'm not putting him in that category of an Odell Beckham in the middle of the year. But after you get past that June, as much as Catboy
Here comes the money.
likes to say,
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
oh, this is a 365-day a year, you know, the personnel act. No, it ain't. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. It's pretty much over after June. In fact, didn't he just say, hey, man, we're not done in free agency. We're sitting on $23 million. We're not done. Well, players are getting signed. You know? Yeah, maybe they'll bring in a linebacker next month. We'll see. Odell just tore his ACL in February, so I don't see it. I was out, Jesse, but we back, man. We back. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Jacob said, no, Sky. Player acquisition is 365 days a year. Yeah, for other teams. For Dallas, it's about 175 days. The other 100, we like our guys. Tony said, glad you got the issue fixed. Didn't know what to do at 7 a.m. So where you at that is 7, Tony? I'm still learning all these time differences. I know it's 2 hours if you're in Cali from where I'm at. It's an hour ahead if you're in the East Coast. Is it only 1 hour in between all that from here to Cali? Not really sure. Like if you live in the Rocky Mountains or something like that. Stephen Jones has not been in the office for weeks. Probably. Lamar says the topic of Fossil and Moore having so much pull, but McCarthy needs to step in more, take over. Okay. Yet no one complains when the same process works for Quinn. So the topic of Fossil and Moore having so much pull, but McCarthy needs to step in more. But are you saying McCarthy needs to step in, or that's just a topic to take over? Yet no one complains when the same process works with Quinn. Honestly, I don't have an issue with Bones. We might get upset because he might have caught a boneheaded fake or something like that. But if you look at Bones' production from a special team standpoint, Bones is fine. I don't have too many issues with Bones. The only thing that I wish Bones would have done is not keep, I should say, Greg Zuerlein when he had that whole leg issue or back issue. But again, McCarthy's not a special teams coach. McCarthy's not a defensive coach. What is he going to tell Quinn? Even if Quinn was a terrible defensive coach, right? For instance, look what he did with Mike Nolan. If he was as bad as Mike Nolan gone. And that was his boy. That's all he can really do. McCarthy can't go into Quinn and say, hey, man, we need to do this stunt here. We got this D tackle stunt. I like that better. Quinn like, man, if you don't go on, you don't know about this. But McCarthy can go to Moore and say, no. When we get this coverage, this actually works better. Or this situation is better. Because that's what he does. So that's why you don't hear people bring up McCarthy checking Quinn, or I guess he could check Bones for fake punts. I'll give you that. But again, that's 4 times out of how many punts do they? 100? Where there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of play calls and installs that he could easily step into with Kellen Moore, that he clearly admitted to saying, you install it, you call it. Hey, that's on you, man. So unless I'm not getting this right, just call in and so I can understand you a little bit more. Special teams equally important as others, no doubt. Other phases of the game, don't go too hard on Bones. Right, which is why I'm not trying to. Like, Bones has been good for our special teams, without a doubt. The little relationship with Greg DeLay kind of hurt the Cowboys in a way. So weird. It's such a weird year last year for Greg. He made a handful of game-winning or game-tying field goals, but he missed way too many early on that set the Cowboys up for later in losing games. It was just a weird year for him. All right. I think we're going to wrap this thing up, man. We got a long day ahead. I'll be back on later with Vach over on the volume at 3:06-ish. Shout out to the 3-ish Mafia. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Hit that sub button, man. Hit that sub button. We'll be back tomorrow talking about the actual rankings. We're going to rank 40 to 31. I think that's where it's really going to get fun, because now you get to see who I think is above or below a certain player or what have you. And again, I know it's not the greatest. There's no news, so we're just kind of trying to make sure we get some type of quality content out here. So tomorrow we'll be on for that 40 to 31. Keep getting those mixed up. And later tonight, our guy Mauricio will be back on for A to Z Sports Prime Time about 8 p.m. He's usually on time. I'm not, but he's usually on time. So make sure y'all tune in for that, man. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's show. And run this back if you missed it. We will have this up on all of the platforms on social media. We'll have it up on all the podcast platforms as well. So Jacob said, answer my question. Do I think Ezekiel is Elias? Yes. If that comes out that he's actually not Elias, I'll be shocked. That'd be dope, but I'd be shocked. I think he's Elias. I do. With that said, hit this button, man. Appreciate y'all. Bomb Squad. I tell you what, y'all might see me at 12 days. Y'all might see me down there at the Dickey Center. SmackDown's coming. Maybe I'll go. Get my flex on. Love y'all, man. We out of here. Peace.
Squad!